"Mom, don't hold him back. Let him go." Alex couldn't believe his ears. His adult son had stepped into the argument between his parents and said his final word. This was his son? This was how he showed gratitude to his father? Alex had always deeply loved his only child. The boy had followed him everywhere: fishing trips, bike rides out of town, seaside vacations. Even at school meetings, it was always the father who showed up. And now this? The son had overheard that his father had someone else, a love outside the family. Naturally, he took his mother's side. How could he not? But Alex was hurt. That day, they'd had a serious fight. Olivia, Alex's wife, had come home from work while he was cooking dinner. Tired, he sat down for a moment on the couch with the TV remote in hand. She entered the apartment and barked at him. "Well, just sitting there? Who are you waiting for?" "For you, darling," he replied with a tired smile. "And what? Your hands are broken? Couldn't pick up a mop and clean the floor?" Alex was taken aback. She had never spoken to him like that before. She had never demanded he mop the floors. But, well, there's a first time for everything. He got angry and voiced his frustration, threatening to leave her for another woman. Their son heard the yelling, came out of his room and said, "Let him go. Don't hold him back." No one was holding him, in fact. Truth be told, this marriage had been teetering for a long time. Olivia was tired. They had married young, as students, just 20 years old. 30 years had passed since. But how long can a person endure? After work, she wanted peace and quiet. At night, too, peace and quiet. On weekends, same thing. She wanted a spotless stove in the kitchen, a mirror without splashes in the bathroom, an empty balcony and perfect order in the closets. The man in the house, well, the son, was still her blood. But Alex, he was just exhausting, always craving attention. Hadn't had enough in 30 years. The more gray hairs in his beard, the more he seemed to want. He could leave. "Go ahead, sweetheart. Walk out that door." What? Trying to scare her? Olivia wasn't scared, not even upset, but the son was. He was furious with his father. Olivia, though, she felt lighter, like a burden had lifted. Sometimes, when a man leaves, it really does make life easier for the woman. And as for Mary, Alex's supposed other woman, there was no affair. That part he made up to scare his wife. Just words, empty threats. Mary was just a friend. They used to work together, stayed in touch from time to time. No love story, just a convenient arrangement. Mary had been single for 17 years. Alex had called and asked if he could stay with her for a while. He'd had a fight with his wife. He promised to help with expenses, to contribute around the house. She agreed. When Alex moved in, life took a different turn for Mary. He wasn't lazy. If he got home before her, dinner would be ready. On weekends, even lunch, his borscht was delicious, his pilaf amazing, and he made all kinds of salads. He'd call during the day just to check in, pick her up from work or the store, carry the bags. He noticed what needed to be fixed around the house, where to hammer in a nail or pull one out. He was tall, strong, and quite handsome. Really, what had his wife been thinking? Olivia, Alex's wife, remained a mystery to him. He could never figure out what she really wanted. Was she truly happier without him? No one ever knows where they'll find happiness or where they'll lose it. But when Alex packed his bags and left, Olivia actually exhaled with relief. 2 months passed. Not a single call. Neither his wife nor his son reached out. How could they? He thought. Tears stung his eyes. All those years together. They had raised a son, built a life. They had a beautiful apartment, a garden. Everything was in order. What made him such a bad husband? A bad father? A bad man? He had no parents left. Her family had become his. He always said that to Olivia. Your family is like my own. Not only did he say it, he proved it with actions. Alex did everything he could for them. But why then did the people closest to him, his wife and son, treat him like that? As soon as he walked out the door, it was like they erased him from their lives. Did they even wonder if he made it to his destination? If something happened to him on the way? Even his in-laws never called him once in all these months. Of course, Mary took him in. But over time, a question began to hang in the air. One evening, Alex came home from work, and this conversation happened. Alex, Mary said carefully, please don't take this the wrong way. But what happens next? Next? He repeated, surprised. Well, you've been living here for a while now. How much longer is this going to continue? Wait, are you kicking me out? No, no, you can stay as long as you need. So, what's bothering you? Honestly, a few things. The neighbors are starting to talk. My daughter was going to visit for the holidays, but then changed her mind. She says there's a strange man living here. And you are still married. I'm always on edge. What if your wife suddenly shows up and starts yelling? Oh, she won't. She doesn't care, Alex muttered. Maybe so, but can you promise she won't? Yes, I promise. You see, Alex, it's one thing to be friends and a whole other thing to live together. Don't you understand? Am I a burden to you? No, not at all. Then what's the issue? Mary fell silent. He didn't understand, and probably never would. The truth was, she had started to grow attached to him. Back when they were just friends, she didn't care about what went on in his marriage. That was his business. But now, she liked having him around. The problem was, he didn't love her. He loved Olivia, and he wasn't going to divorce her. If Olivia ever called him back, he'd return without a second thought. And Mary? She'd already started to fall for him. He was kind, he was a good man, but he didn't love her, and that was the problem. Meanwhile, Alex thought Mary had simply grown tired of him. He felt down. He had hoped his wife would come to her senses in a week or two, call him back, apologize. But it had already been 2 months, and nothing. He thought it over and decided to return home. His son refused to talk to him. His wife was cold, but at least she spoke to him. While Alex was gone, he hadn't supported her financially, didn't drive her anywhere, didn't cook. Luckily, it was winter, so there wasn't much to do at the dacha. Olivia hadn't been there in years anyway. She was secretly happy to see him return, but didn't show it. Still hurt, Alex decided to take a 2-week vacation. He went to a forest resort not far from the city. And there, something unexpected happened. He met another woman. Svetlana had just gone through a divorce. She was a few years younger than Alex, with grown-up kids who lived separately. She was beautiful, educated, had a prestigious job, a nice apartment, and a good car. Alex was immediately smitten. At first, he lied to her, said he was separated and planning to divorce. They spent a few days together at the resort, and everything seemed perfect. But when they got back to the city, Svetlana found out the truth. Alex was still living with his wife. She ended it on the spot, blocked him everywhere. But he couldn't let it go. He waited outside her building, at her job, begged for forgiveness. He even filed for divorce. He was truly losing his mind. That's how much he liked her. Eventually, she forgave him. If you want a real relationship, she said, then get divorced, divide the property, and we'll see. For now, we'll just date. Meanwhile, Olivia, Alex's legal wife, sensed something was wrong. And when she found out he was filing for divorce and wanted to split the house and assets, everything changed. Like magic. Alex felt like he'd woken up from a dream. What had gotten into him? Why did he need this divorce and all the chaos that came with it? There are so many good women in the world, but Olivia? She was the best. A few months passed. Alex had never been happier. Olivia respected him again, called him family, called him her beloved. He couldn't remember the last time she had been like that. Maybe not since before their wedding. Now she praised the food he cooked, didn't make faces at it anymore. She even went with him to the dacha once. She walked around the property, cut some roses, and put them in a vase at home. Oh, how lovely, Olivia said, and praised her husband. He's such a great gardener, my Alex. Their son forgave him too. They even started getting along. One day they were sitting and talking, and the son asked his dad, "Can you show me the picture of that woman you almost got divorced over?" Then he added unexpectedly, "You know, Dad, maybe you should have divorced. Mom didn't even love you anymore." That comment really surprised Alex. So, in the end, this whole thing turned into a kind of love quadrangle. Alex, Olivia, Mary, and Svetlana. But none of it was for nothing. Each of them learned something important from the situation. Alex realized that his true wife was the best woman for him. Mary learned it's better not to be just friends with married men. Svetlana understood that married men should never be trusted. Olivia discovered that life with Alex is still better than being alone. And luckily, Alex didn't leave his wife after all. In the end, the most important thing is they're all healthy. And happiness, well, it comes in its own time.